Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the second video of my channel, and you're going to be noticed this video quality is going to be a lot better. From here on out, I'll be using my actual GoPro 11 is what I'm using to record all my videos. So, a lot better quality. Okay, so this video is going to be a recap of my first week at TDI. It was a lot of paperwork. You're going to get writer's cramp. For information purposes, when you're going to go to a school, it's a good idea to know your previous 6 years of your motor vehicle report, tickets, stuff like that. And you definitely want to make sure you can pass a urinalysis test. I'll get into more about the background stuff towards the end of the video, but that's just good general knowledge. Okay, so Monday, we got a binder, and then we got a really thick manual. The binder was all of the Florida specific training for the general knowledge, air brakes, and combination sections. The big book we got was the TDI, the actual school's manual, which is a lot thicker. We worked, after all the initial paperwork, we worked on the general knowledge portion of that blue binder, and we got through all that on Monday. When it came into Tuesday was the air brakes and combination part of that blue binder. And we also had our DOT physicals. Now, the DOT physical, it's a lot easier than I thought it would be. It took all of maybe 5 minutes to do mine. It was blood pressure. They checked your eyes. They did a mobility check, and a couple other things, but it's not really a big deal. Like I said, we did the air brakes and the combination part of the binder, which was the Florida manual, and then we moved into the big thick TDI manual for all of the entry-level driver training. ELDT is what it's called. And then I'm not going to say the chapters we did because we bounced around a lot. For whatever reason, I'm not really sure. But we covered all but like 3 chapters of the book. And those 3 chapters are kind of what I would say more advanced stuff. I don't have the book with me, or else I would go through and show you. But it's a 36 chapter book, I believe it is, and we did 32 or 33 of them. We're doing about 8 a day. And we also, Charles, the classroom instructor, give him a big shout out. Very knowledgeable CDL driver. Throughout the whole week, he was giving us pro tips on what to do, tips on what not to do, and also, things that will make your life easier when you're going through a DOT inspection with a DOT officer or a state trooper, anyone that's authorized to do a DOT inspection. Be nice, be respectful. Like the old saying goes, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. And these people hold your career in their hands, so you really don't want to piss them off. Okay, after that, he took us out and did a very brief pre-trip, just identifying some of the parts of the truck. It wasn't an actual pre-trip inspection, but just to give everyone a familiarity of what the parts are. Okay, that was Tuesday. Wednesday was the day. We started out. We were all sent to different DMVs in Seminole County, which is Seminole County, Florida, which is where my school is. They split us all up so we can kind of get in and out, because my class was 10, and then one got 6, we dropped down to 9. So they pretty much split us up into 2 or 3 people per DMV. So that got things done a lot quicker. I am happy to say that I passed the general knowledge air brakes in combination on the first try. Studying for a month before I even went to the school definitely paid off. I was able to breeze through. It took me, you have like an hour per section for those 3 sections at the DMV. I want to say I estimated, counting the times going back and forth to the teller at the window, taking that time out, I had them all done in probably a little more than 20 minutes. And actually, it's kind of funny. I broke the computer. You have to take the general knowledge first before you can take. You have to take and pass the general knowledge first before you take the combination and air brakes. So if you don't pass the general knowledge, you can't take the other 2. Well, I logged in for the general knowledge and I answered one question, and the computer froze. I had to have, I guess, the manager of that particular branch come over, and she looked, she shut the computer off, and then she went back to her terminal, and then she came over, and she moved me to a different machine. So I went to a different machine, did that, went back to the teller. She set up my my combination and air brakes. You can take those, back to back. You don't have to go back and get reset again. Got those done and got my permit, which, let me take it out and show you guys. Let me cover up the pertinent stuff. Anyway, this is what a CDL permit looks like. Just has CDL learner's permit. This is what you need to go out and do the road training in the second and third weeks of training. Without that, you can't get in a truck and leave the property. So, pretty important. Okay, what was next? The DOT drug screen. I'm sure we've all done, pee in a bottle, get it sent off the test. Basic urinalysis test. The school only does a urinalysis test, and I'll get into that a little bit later. And then we did, more of the TDI training chapters, and that was on Wednesday. On Thursday, we did more, a lot of book work, a lot of TDI chapters. I also had to go to my recruiter and set up some different accounts for clearinghouse for the drug test and all the DOT computer based stuff. And we also had a recruiter from Melton Trucking come in and talk to all of us. Apparently, whenever the recruiters come in, they buy lunch and they feed everyone. Trying to get these people to come work for you, trying to entice them somehow, right? So Melton came in, and I've decided to go with them. They're a strictly flatbed company. They don't do dry van, reefer, none of that stuff. But actually, I'll finish this, and then I'll go into Melton. Friday was the TDI, the rest of the chapters for the TDI manual that we didn't do. We finished that up. We did how to do paper logs. We don't really, or in the trucking industry, they don't normally do paper logs anymore. It's all controlled by what's called an ELD, electronic logging device. Me personally, I am still going to do paper logs. One of the things that you need if that ELD ever dies, and it's an electronic device, they're not foolproof. You have to produce the previous 7 days of all your driving, and you have to have it on you to give to the DOT officer. If you don't have it on you, that's a violation. Violations are bad. You don't want those. Oh, I forgot. On Wednesday, we did a Smith's test. If you don't know what that is, just Google Smith's driving test. It's I would recommend watching any sort of training that you can find on that. It will make you a better driver overall. It's not just for CDL holders. I believe everyone should watch that. If everyone watched that training and use that in their daily driving habits, the roads will be a lot more safe. Okay, and that was on Wednesday. So the last thing on Friday was the TDI manual final test. It was 50 questions on that one. I did it. I got 2 wrong. So overall, I think I finished a course. My overall grade was 96. So again, all that studying paid off. The only thing I struggled with was the paper logs because I didn't look at that before I went to class. Everything I looked at, I was fine. So, but I got it down. I did fine on the test portion for that, so we're good there. Okay, so that was the first week, the classroom week at TDI. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. There might be something I left out, but overall, I recommend TDI so far. The classroom portion, yeah, I studied a lot on the material, but there's still a lot of stuff that comes from the instructor's experience that I think is invaluable. Just information you need to know. Okay, so going back to Wednesday, Melton came in, and they were the first company that came in. I think Covenant Transportation is coming in Tuesday of this upcoming week. I don't think Covenant is going to be able to beat Melton. I could be wrong. Again, haven't talked to the recruiter yet, but I have already applied to Melton. I did my phone interview. That was about 35-ish minutes talking to John at Melton. Shout out, good guy. And this is the part where you want to have your own copy of your MVR. Sometimes, like, the school gave me mine after the interview. Well, I was trying to go off memory for the last 6 years, and I remembered most of the stuff. There were some things I forgot, and one of the things wasn't even my fault. But the phone interview with Melton, John, was very specific. All he said was, just tell me the truth. If you're truthful and you have stuff on your record, they will work with you. Now, barring any super serious offenses like murder, stuff like that. But I had a driver's license suspension back in 2021. That was due to insurance. Nothing I did wrong. And then I had a ticket. It was 6 to 10 over. That was back in, I believe, 2019. Well, when I told him, I flipped those. I put the ticket in 2021 and the insurance suspension in 2019. But it's a simple fact that I told him about them. He said that dates don't matter. I passed the interview perfectly fine. I received a conditional offer of employment. It's conditional because, like I said, Melton is flatbed only. With that being the case, the driver of that flatbed trailer is responsible for the load securement. And, if you ever driven on interstates for a while, you'll see flatbeds. They carry spools of wire. They carry, steel tubing, concrete tubing, building materials for houses. It's a lot. The stuff they carry varies. And there are particular ways that they want that load secured for safety. You don't want something rolling off your truck and hitting another car or, Lord forbid, killing someone. You don't want to do that. But There's two physical tests that you have to do with Melton, and that is, as ridiculous as this sounds, you're probably gonna laugh. You have to stand on each foot with the other foot raised, just a couple inches off the ground, for 60 seconds on each foot. I understand it's to see if you can, keep your balance, but to me that's silly. But it's company protocol, so of course I'm going to do it. And yes, I did test myself. I can do it perfectly fine. And the second physical test is you have to lift a 90-pound tarp and place it on the top of a flatbed trailer. I haven't watched any videos to see if there's a specific technique you have to use. I'm a big guy. It's not going to be hard for me. But you have to pass those two things, and then you go into the training on load securement. I watched a video from another gentleman, posted not too long ago, saying that the orientation and that physical thing is like maybe a day and a half, and orientation as a whole is 8 days. Those two small parts, like I said, with the paperwork, about a day and a half, and then the rest of that time, up to the 8 days, you're out there getting trained on how to properly secure loads, and I guess you test, evaluate yourself just to make sure you're doing it all right. This flatbed training is a little bit different, again, because it's a lot more involved than just hauling a reefer trailer or a dry van or tankers. Hauling a tanker requires an endorsement and more training as well, but you don't need load securement training for a dry van or reefer. Those things have small little nuances you gotta worry about. I'm thinking my tentative date for the orientation is May 27th. I may move that up. There's still a couple variables I'm waiting on. But at the latest, I'll be probably flying out to Oklahoma. That's where their training facility is. I said the orientation is 8 days, and then as long as you pass all those tests for orientation, you'll be assigned a trainer. Now, I did specifically ask the recruiter that came to the school if it's possible that I get a trainer that has been in the military. I asked that because I wanted to increase my odds of being able to get along with my trainer. That's important considering I'm going to be in this person's truck for 3 weeks. I want to be able to get along, have similar personalities. I'll have to put my alpha personality on the back burner because I'm coming in this man's home, essentially. But I want to learn as much as I can. So when I do get assigned my own truck, I know what I'm doing. Now, with the assigned truck, this is another thing that sold me. Your home time. There's a handful of states that you can't take home time in. There's, if I remember off the top of my head, actually, I got a list right here. Let me pull it up real quick. Actually, I already have it pulled up. Okay, Maine, Florida. Now, Florida doesn't apply because I live in Florida, so take that one out of the equation. Vermont, Wyoming, New Hampshire, North Dakota, South Dakota, Idaho, and Montana. I'm pretty sure they have that set like that for logistical reasons. Florida is on there because it's common knowledge in the trucking industry. It is really easy to get a load into Florida, but it's not so easy to get a load out of Florida, which is a good segue into one thing I like about Melton. You get paid cents per mile, but you get that cents per mile loaded and unloaded. So as long as those wheels are turning, I'm making money. I like that very much. Another thing I like is, like I said, I can see if I can put this up here so you can see the dark green. If you're in those areas, you do 2 weeks out, and the light green, Florida is in there, you have to do a minimum of 3 weeks out. If you do 3 weeks out, you get the option of taking, you do 3 weeks out, 3 days in. On that schedule, you get like a bonus day, so a fourth day. Now, if you don't take that fourth day, they pay you $200. So you're back on the road sooner. I like that. Another benefit, because it's flatbed and it's open air, any load that I tarp is $100. So if I do 3 tarp loads in a week, that's $300 more on top of my mileage. I like that too. Another good benefit, I can take my truck home on home time if I want. Not a lot of mega carriage or big companies will let you do that. You have to park at their terminals and then, with your vehicle there and then drive home to wherever you're going. I'm pretty sure they have that in there because the home office and the training grounds is in Oklahoma, and they only have four or five other terminals throughout the country, so it's not a whole lot of terminals. So taking the truck home, it just makes it easier on the logistics for them. Because if you're like me, I live in Florida. If the home terminal's in Oklahoma, I gotta fly out there, get in the truck, do my run, fly home, 3 days, fly back. That's retarded. So I really like that too. With the pay, I will start out at 52 cents a mile. If and when, because I'm going to get it, my hazmat endorsement, if I'm hauling a hazmat load, it's 6 cents more per mile. I'd have to get my passport because they also run in Canada and Mexico. I believe if you cross country borders, it's 16 cents a mile. So that's a nice boost when you can do 300-400 miles a day on a good day. I think I covered everything as far as Melton. So yeah, I think that's it. So again, that's week 1 at TDI, and where I plan to go for employment probably a week after TDI. And the next video will be, probably about this time next week, covering the first week of the range. And, well, the way the range works, you're split up into groups, and you might spend a morning driving the truck, on the roads and highways, and in the afternoon you go on the range to practice all the range maneuvers. And then you just keep flip-flopping back and forth. So I'm actually looking forward to that. Thanks to the experience, well, the refresher, I should say, for Walmart letting me be a backup yard driver. I've been out in the yard quite a lot recently. I got that muscle memory down. I'm not worried about the range. Now, I'm going to go slower. I'm not going to go as fast as I do at Walmart because, well, there's obvious reasons. So, that about wraps this video up. Thank you for watching. If you are finding this and you're not a subscriber, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications. I'm trying to do videos at least once a week. Sometimes might be more, sometimes might be less. Just all depends on what's going on. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. See you later.